What's up, everybody? Happy Monday! Woo! End of the day. If you're on Eastern Time, good morning. Happy Tuesday if you're in Australia. This is the Ruell Report, joined by the namesake of the show, Mr. Ruell Black. Today, we've got a couple topics we need to talk about today. First things first, through the technicals, some levels, some volumes on the major cryptos with the move that we've been seeing in the major coins. Of course, we saw Bitcoin going from 50K, breaking 50K, struggling to hold 50K. So we'll start there. We'll run through the other majors, including Ruell's favorite, that he has been long and strong, Cardano, aka ADA. And then we are going to be pivoting over to the NFT side of things. Ruell's done a great job of bringing us new and interesting NFTs. Speaking of which, buy a chicken. Ruell?
Yes, I'm sorry, you broke up there for me a little bit.
Oh, okay. Did you get your chicken NFT?
Dude, I did not get one. I was so upset about it.
They sold out or what?
Yeah, they sold out in 5 minutes, and I was one of the first people in there. I clicked in, couldn't get a chicken. But you know what? I just kind of waited because I knew people were gonna panic sale, and I got like a second to the lowest level chicken for like purchase price. So
Yep.
So that was cool. But I do really wish I kind of got in there. But the only thing that told me was there's so much action for those that it looks really bright for the future. They literally sold out in 5 minutes. So that's good to know. And then a lot of listeners were like, "Hey, you need to do more NFT videos. I love that chicken thing." So good to hear from the people and know that that's what they like. So,
yep. All right, so that's the move. And Charlie's in the chat is asking if I got the Greg NFT that looks like me. I didn't. Sorry. But all right, Ruell, why don't you share your screen? Why don't you give us some charts, and let's run through some of these big cryptos.
Okay, so particularly the one I want to go over first is Cardano, because Cardano's hit its all-time high.
We can't see your screen if you're sharing, by the way.
No, not yet.
Okay.
About to. Let's see here. And I have a nice video on my channel about the Cardano ecosystem. So a lot of times when these coins blow up like that, you can get even better gains from members of the ecosystem. So check that out on my Black Room Investing channel.
Which we'll get the link for that in just a second here. And I want to throw this one out to the group too. We've asked us the past couple of weeks, in the short term, what are some of the levels that you're watching on Bitcoin? We're going to start there and we'll work our way down through the coins. But again, in the short term, what are some of those key levels that you're watching? And Ruell, let me know when you're ready for me to add your chart onto the screen here.
Dude, you know what? My internet seems to be going slowly today. You might have to chart for me. Let me see. Hold on 1 second.
I can make that happen. I just won't have all your indicators and whatnot.
Okay, it's kind of coming up, but I want to make sure we have a lot of time for our guests. So, you know what? Can you chart for me? Let's bring up ADA, USD Coinbase.
All right, ADA USD Coinbase. $8. There we go. All right, let me go ahead and get this on the screen for everybody. Alrighty, there you go, Ruell. Right now you have daily candles on the chart. I can go ahead and zoom this in. What do you want me to pull up?
Okay, you can see we're literally at all-time highs. I
We're pretty
checked
close to
Charles.
high of day as well.
Yeah, and I checked Charles's YouTube. He's saying that he believes that smart contracts will be out on September 12th. So that's all going according to plan. Um, yeah, and I think Cardano's just going to keep going from here, guys. Um, it's at an all-time high, so definitely take a little bit of profit. But as far as I see, I think it's going to keep going.
All right, so you are currently long this one. Again, guys, symbol here ADA, Alpha Delta Alpha. In Ruel, are you trimming it all? I know you mentioned you were considering trimming some last week. Or are you letting it ride? I mean, you must be way in the green compared to your average price.
I am trimming a little bit, and usually my trim down whole schedule thing is like I'll trim down and I'll put money into things that are lesser value, so I get more quantity, if that makes sense. So I'll trim off some ADA, and I'll go into like some Telcoin because Telcoin's only at 3 cents. But maybe I trim down into something that's not as low as Telcoin. Maybe I trim down into something like Matic, and I put it into Matic because Matic's only at like $1.50, and I like to try to trend down into stuff that's lower value, so I get better bang for my buck.
Okay. All right. So that's the move there. You mentioned Telcoin. You said it's 3 cents. Might as well pull up a chart on it. All right. See, this
It'll
is
be
why it's better when
TEL.
you do it. What do you say?
Yeah, it's at TEL USD KuCoin.
Where? Tell me where to click. This one?
Yeah, it should be Tether
Here's
KuCoin.
USDT, which is not going to do it for us. All right.
And if you can go down to the daily chart.
Wait, did I pull up the right thing? I don't think so.
I think so. I don't think
They
so.
said it was 3 cents. I'm looking at $42. Looking at
Okay,
60.
yeah, that's not right.
Yep.
Man, my
Telcoin.
trading view is just spinning. It is not wanting to do anything.
All right, I'm not finding Tel. But why don't we just do the good old-fashioned BTC? Why don't we
Let's
load that
do
one
that
up
for
next?
sure.
Bitcoin daily candles here. I'll zoom us in a little bit. If we take a look at these wicks on these candles, of course, anybody who's watching this knows that Bitcoin did top 50K, struggled to hold 50K. Psychologically, obviously, that's an important level. If we zoom out on the chart, Ruel, what are you looking for in Bitcoin right now?
Okay, so it was predictably just what we said last week. It was bearish for about like a day and a half, only to come back and go past the points that we were talking about. And 50K was my point. So it's past that. I think the levels we discussed last week was like 56.
Yep,
So
that
56
was the number that you threw out.
is the next.
And remind me how you got to the 56 again. What were you looking at that made 56 the important level?
It was kind of like the next hump on our chart, the next little resistance point, and that's how I got
Okay.
to that. I wish to goodness that I could pull it up because I have all the lines and everything, but I cannot.
And we asked this question at the top of the show, basically. What was the level for people to watch out for next? We saw some 60Ks fly in there. Of course, if we can't hold 50, we're not getting to Ruel's 56 or 60. Sentiment, Ruel, net bullish or net bearish on Bitcoin? Where are you at right now?
I say that I'm still bullish. I honestly think that a lot of money is flowing back into crypto now that Bitcoin is kind of spruced itself back up, and I just think more money is going to flow into it for a bit. I was listening to something. I think it was Jack Spencer investing. He was talking about a lot of hedge funds are pulling money out of the stock market. I think all that money is just going to go into the crypto market.
Okay, that's an interesting play. But in what you were listening to, with the hedge funds pulling out of the market, but was there any speculation beyond yours as to where those funds were flowing? Was it like flowing into debt markets? Just sitting in some sort of cash type instrument? What
Well,
are
he,
other
he
places
made
that cash could be flowing into?
he made no speculation, but based off things that I've researched, um, what I've heard is real estate and crypto.
Okay.
People are soaking up land because land. I mean, it does appreciate and depreciate, but it's land. So like it's one of the best assets you can have. If it's land in a really good position or a really good place like Arizona or whatnot, where people are going to buy. So from
A
what I've
little
been hearing,
biased, are
it's
we?
I'm sorry,
Are you somebody a little biased with that Arizona land?
a little bit, a little fun in the sun. That's what we're about.
And that does bring up the interesting diversification point. Do you do any sort of real estate investing right now? Whether it's in the ownership of physical land, it's in a REIT, which is an instrument that trades like a stock, or on any of those alternative investment platforms that give you access to deals.
For right now, I just do I do a couple REITs. I do it like a REIT ETF. It's I think it's JRE.
Okay, you talked about this one before, I remember. All right, let's go ahead and pull that one up. All right, so we're going to look at JRE ETF. And this is definitely a sidetrack discussion, but still interesting. Capital appreciation and income. I just want to see what type of real estate assets it's going for. All caps. Okay, wow. So this is maybe a REIT that gives you exposure to everything.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, okay, look at this. Here we can see what they hold. All right, so this is a REIT that gives you exposure to all property. Okay, so this is a general property play, basically. This ETF that you're talking about,
Exactly.
and U.S. only. Let's see, it's paying 2% dividend. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
That seems light for a REIT.
And
No.
it hasn't been around for that long, but I liked that it gave me like kind of general REIT exposure. And there was one random stock I was in that was like a Chinese REIT.
Right.
Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah. I see Shelly in the chat is saying that the 2% is low too. I agree. One of the things that I like about REITs is the income advantages that you get. So just to explain how this works for a second, a REIT, it's basically you're investing in a company whose job is to buy and operate some sort of real estate asset. There's a law which requires the company to distribute 90% of their cash flows to shareholders, and that's where a lot of times you can find REITs that are paying dividends of 8-9%. And so if you're thinking about like a core portfolio tenant or some sort of an income play, if you think about it, right, you put, I don't know, 50 grand into REIT holdings, you get a 9% yield. You're getting paid $4,500 a year to own the thing. Plus, hopefully you're going to get some capital appreciation if the folks who are managing the REIT are good stewards of your money and are buying properties that appreciate. So that's the general play with REITs there. And did you find that China one, Ruel? Because that's sort of interesting. And
I
there's
was
tons of
not.
these REITs. You can buy. I mean, again, this is not a REIT show. We'll get back to cryptos in a second. But you can buy into to real estate operators that own apartment buildings, commercial, fast food chains, big box stores. I mean, whatever it is, there's a REIT for it. I just about guarantee that.
No, and I'll have that stock name for you guys next week. I can't find it. My stuff is just moving too slowly.
And a lot of these REITs took a dump into COVID and have since rebounded. There are
Yep.
still some that are in tough spots, like, for example, REITs that own a lot of entertainment assets. But for the most part, it's in a decent spot. All right, let's get back to the cryptos. Let's look at one more major. But before let's look at one more major, and then we do have to do Dogecoin. Sorry, Ruel, we do. Let's look at one more major, and then look at Dogecoin before we click over to the ETF half of the show. Any major you want to throw out? I'll let you pick, or I'm going to pick for you.
Let's go Ethereum. Let's do that.
I was going to say SOL.
I was thinking that too. Let's do that instead. Let's do
both. Come on, we'll just go quick.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, Ethereum. The levels are pretty obvious, guys. These are daily candles that we're looking at. And again, I'm looking at these from a stock perspective. I'm the stock junkie. Ruel's the crypto and NFT junkie. But from a stock perspective, I mean, look at this. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. We've gotten tripped up at the same level. Ethereum is basically resting at that level right now. It's right around 3,400. From a pure technical perspective, that's the level I'd want to see us get over. In terms of the moving averages, we'll be sitting pretty much at or right above most of those. So again, it's those highs that I want to see clear out. I mean, it looks like there's just a basket of sellers right at these levels where we've struggled to get over. Where are you at? Now give us the more educated take on where Ethereum is at.
I'm really curious to see what's going to happen to Ethereum once Cardano gets its smart contracts online. If there's a couple guys that go over from Ethereum to Cardano that Charles hasn't told us about yet, there might be a little Ethereum dump. I'm really curious to see if that happens. This is just speculation. I have no inside track or anything on this. I'm just wondering if something like that happens, there may be a little dump of Ethereum.
Yep. All right. So Ethereum, are you long right now?
I have a little,
in a small way,
a little, just like a small bit of Ethereum tucked away, but I'm definitely heavier in Cardano, Telcoin, and Vera, which Vera and Telcoin had a supremely nice couple days.
All right. Well. Let's look at SOL. Where are you at here?
Okay, let me see.
Obviously, it's a nice chart again, guys. These are daily candles that we're looking at on these charts. We've seen the nice bull run. It looks similar to that Ethereum chart we were looking at, where we've got a cluster of highs built in that we struggled to gain some ground on. But if we zoom way out, obviously it's a beautiful chart. When we were doing the show last week, we were talking about the break above all-time highs. Ruell's call was to go long and strong. Ended up being another good call. So give me your take on SOL.
Solana's just running, and honestly, I don't know that they're. I know that part of the reason it ran was this game called Star Atlas. It's a NFT like Star Wars looking game. Yep. That's going to be on the Radium platform, and people are kind of like, in order to buy Radium, you need to buy Solana, and people both Radium and Solana really kind of bumped up on that. And I think the last day you can kind of get into that is August 25th or something like that. So I know it ran due to that. And I'm wondering what other news they have in store, because they're probably going to have to do something if Cardano's doing this whole thing with smart contracts. There might be something else in store for Solana right on the heels of that. Or Solana could possibly even move just in sympathy with that. So I don't think this is the last we're hearing of Solana. It might even have $100 in it before the end of the year. Yeah, but I don't think this is the last we hear of them.
All right. And then big news in the crypto stock market world today. Voyager Digital, did you see it?
No, I didn't see it.
Uplisting to TSX, Toronto Stock Exchange,
Whoop, whoop.
which also clears the way for a NASDAQ dual listing. Interesting.
All right.
That is my favorite crypto stock, guys. Ticker VYGVF. I've been pumping it forever, but it's been a good one. Ruell knows that it's been a good one.
Oh, hell yeah. I wish I got into that one when you guys got in.
I never made more money on a stock in my life. My average price, I think, was 50 cents, and my exit was in the 18 somewhere. And then I bought back in somewhere around 14. So I'm back in it now as of a couple weeks ago.
And that 50 cents one, was that last year?
The 50 cents, yeah. Sometime in 2020.
Okay. I think I started watching you guys right a little bit before that, but I missed that day's episode or something like that. That's why you can't miss an episode, guys.
Yep, there you go. All right, Ruell. So before we move over to the NFT part of the show, I'm going to ask you to talk through the cryptos we just talked about. It was Solana, Cardano, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. Those are the four that we went through. Give me a ranking in order from most to least bullish.
Cardano, Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum.
All right, so number 1, ADA, number 2, BTC, number 3, SOL, and number 4, ETH. Is that the accurate representation?
That is correct.
And you're long and strong all of them, but Solana and Cardano in a much larger way. Is that fair to say?
For sure. And if I had to throw Telcoin and Vera in that list, it'd be Cardano, Vera, Telcoin, blah, 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 blah.
Yep. All right. Fair enough. All right. So that's where we are in the cryptos, guys. I'm going to throw the same question out to the chat. Of the batch that we talked about, give me which crypto you're most bullish on. That's what I'm curious about. Which crypto is everybody most bullish on? And then let's turn it over to the second half of our show where we are ready to talk NFTs. Why don't you give us a little bit of a preview, Ruell? Then I'm going to add our guests onto the stream and let you guys and producer AB take it away.
For sure. This is a project I found, Bizarro NFTs. And it's going to be one of those 10K only NFT clubs. And what really intrigued me about them is that they have mini games that they want to set up with these 10K NFTs. And they were doing some talk about baby dragons along with this NFT stuff, and they seem like they're really about having the community effect where they go with the NFTs. So thought it was a good opportunity to bring them on the show, have the first interview, and really have an NFT, a 10K NFT be really kind of joined with the show, like maybe our community is the community that is this 10K community.
And tell us what the 10K NFT means.
So the 10K only NFTs, the most popular one is CryptoPunks. But then Board 8 came around and actually made it into a yacht club, so to speak. So they had the whole community aspect to it, which kind of changed the game. Now all like a whole bunch of different communities popped up. One of which I was a member in, and I'm going to probably get back into. Alien Boy, really nice community. Wicked Craniums. There's like Pudgy Penguins and all these different communities that are popping up, and like who will distinguish themselves from these different communities. Vogu is one that's been on Benzinga. What other ones? Like there's like the Doge Squad or something, Doge Pound that Chris had on the show also. There are a bunch of different communities, but what will set these apart? And I want to hear what Bizarro has to set themselves apart.
All right, so I'm going to swap myself for an improved Luke. I'm going to add Sasha here as well. So why don't you guys take it away?
What's up, guys?
Hey, how's it going?
So can you guys tell us a little bit about Bizarro?
Yeah, so Sasha it was a couple months ago, and he was telling me about this NFT thing, and I'd heard all about it. And I thought I'm like, I don't really get it. And he started showing me some of the stuff. I'm like, oh, we can do that, and this is cool. And but like, what's the point? And then he started showing me some of the Bored Ape stuff and how they like created communities and all those sorts of things. And so then I got to experience the Alien Boy launch. You were talking about Alien Boy, and then I was like, okay, I get it. Like it's like you're not just buying like a JPEG or a model or whatever it is. Like you're buying, or you're gaining access to this broader community, and it's like. I think this 10K number is kind of arbitrary, but it's like you're finding a group of people that you can engage with and like at a community level.
Yeah, I think that's it. And when Bored Ape started like having Waka Flocka Flame, and like they had like Snoop Dogg and some NBA players like being a part of their group, that really said it to me, because like when can the average person just be a part of a community that has these type of influencers in it? You know, like that's not happening unless you're like in West Hollywood, like doing something to try to get close to these guys. So it really, like the internet, right, just makes the world like that much smaller, but on the other hand makes it that much more united, because you have this close-knit, whatever it is, like 10K, whatever that arbitrary number is, you have this close-knit community that can make itself valuable and in whichever way it chooses, right? So tell me a little bit about what you guys plan to do with Bizarro.
I can take that. I want to also touch on sort of what really attracts us. Luke and I are both lifetime gamers. We've also co-ran an esports organization before this for several years.
Sweet.
Our teams took home a few world championships, so that was fun. And I mean, I've been gaming since 5 years old, whatever. As soon as we got a computer, I'm sure Luke's the same. I'm from Ukraine, so I didn't get like some of the consoles that you guys got here. We had like a knockoff Atari called Rambo in USSR. It's a renamed total knockoff, but yeah. So we began our whole life, and what we see here with NFT collections is this incredible community you guys touched on, that like a way to organize community in a very straightforward way, and it's it feels really close and knit because there's a limited number of people that be part of it, and we can combine that with our passion for gaming. So once as people mint Bizarros or buy an avatar for themselves, right, we can use those funds to reinvest in developing a cool gaming experience, or at least we hope it's cool, and build a game just for fun, because it's like an automatic fundraising. So you're no longer dependent on investors or publishers to implement, to force game mechanics on you that are not very maybe friendly for the for people playing the game. Like we don't have to squeeze out engagement metrics and add all these in-game items and just to get some profit from people. And so we can build something just for fun, fun for fun's sake, and that's like what more exciting thing can you do? This is like a dream come true for gamers. Like
Awesome.
us.
So if I'm hearing you right on that, Sasha, you're trying to make a community like specifically that caters to gamers then.
I think it's one of the definitely a big angle for us, but we just I think the feeling we want to recreate is like when you first logged into World of Warcraft. I don't know if how many people have been around who are listening.
Oh yeah.
Like that day, and you had the game and you had the quests, and it was so interesting to go and explore. But what was really pulling it together is that feeling of general chat, being able to run around other people, interact with them, right? And that is the core focus. So in Bizarro world, we are starting with just the tavern, which is this big place that 100 or whatever people can be in, and just jump around, hang out. Maybe we'll do some interactions. Maybe you can buy a beer from an NPC bartender, whatever. So we'll have a few surprises, but and then you'll be able to go to like a few rooms adjoining, which lead to some of these mini games we've already developed, and we'll add more, like the Tapper game, which you need to play here live on stream, and we'll pressure you into seeing how good you do. And really, there's like, the point is that there is no point. You just hang out, you chat live with people, you meet people, and then together we sit around the table in the most literal sense in the tavern and discuss, hey guys, what do we build? What's this? This is the tavern. Okay, what's the city block going to look like? What's the city going to look like? What's the world outside? What do you want? You want dragons? You want unicycles? Like, do you want to ride tigers? We have this concept of the others in the game, which are dangerous at night, but they're like these cute and friendly creatures in the day, and we have no idea why they're dangerous at night and why they're after us. We don't even know why Bizarros came from. They just landed on the planet from the sky like fire, like shooting stars, and they have no memory. And like they're trying to recollect why they're here, who they are. And so we are leaving this to the community to write their backstory through a DAO that will form, right, where people can literally submit a paragraph or an illustration to the sort of backstory book, and the rest of the community can vote on it. And once it's approved, that's it. Like, it's set in stone. And so not only do you write the past, but you also write the future with what we're building. And then, of course, the developers will also probably bring in some surprises. And there's just no point to this other than to have all this fun, and hopefully, the bigger point, if anything, is to man, the thought just left my head. Look, you take over.
Oh no, that was perfect. So for me, that was like, there was a lot there, and I really liked what you had to say. Like, as far as like the others, that really leads to a lot for the community, and that the community can create its own storyline. There could be like a treasure hunt. There could be so many things with these others. I really like that dimension. Okay, so producer Aaron has brought up the Bizarro for us. Whose screen is this?
Yeah, so this is straight. This is straight on our website, and you can just go, like, you can see at the top right, Tapper game is selected. So this is one of the games that Luke developed.
Oh yeah, I got to play this. This was pretty fun, I thought.
It's based on the Tapper arcade game, right? The same. So you're a bartender who has to serve 4 rows of customers coming at you, and they come quicker and quicker because they're more and more hungry for their drinks. So I'd love one of you play this and see how you do. No pressure.
And I like
one thing that
you'll lose a life. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and I think one thing that Sasha mentioned earlier.
Press space to send drink.
Oh yeah.
For the rat.
Oh, it's like a shooter. Oh, it may not be working properly. But one thing that Sasha mentioned was that it's a community for gamers. But these days, everyone's a gamer, right? Whether you played Bejeweled, you played Tapper in an arcade, or whatever it is. And I think it's really important to understand that being a gamer is not just like this exclusive sort of thing anymore. And so there's different ways people engage, whether it's from playing Tapper to engaging in the broader kind of multiplayer experience, which is more like World of Warcraft, or even think about EverQuest, which is still around and has a small but super tight knit community. There we go. We've got some beers going down the lane.
Yeah, I loved how this gradually got. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no! New high scores incoming from the producer.
Yep. But yeah, that was just my point. Is just that it is a community for gamers, but everyone's a gamer at this point. It's more a community for just the way people engage now.
For sure, and I really like that you guys had these like mini games. You got them up so quickly. This game was very addictive to me, as well as the runner game, which I refused to stop until I got 1,000 points. Not that many points, but I refused to stop. And just that I got like literally on that much of a addiction to it. Thought like really let me know like the potential that can be here for someone like me who enjoys games. So yeah, I really like that, and I really like this others deal. That's terrific. Like that can go so many different places, especially with letting the users build the storyline.
You will help us define what the heck's going on with the others. I'm excited to find out what's their deal.
Oh yeah, and
maybe they need help, or maybe we just need to survive them, or who knows.
There was a question in chat about, what does this have to do with trading? And I think Sasha can speak to this better than I can, but a big part of creating a token, an NFT, that kind of gates access to this community is that it allows the users to maintain value with, kind of the investment that they're making into, the games that we're making in this community, which is producing value. It allows them to maintain that, right? Because they own those tokens. But Sasha, perhaps you could speak more.
Yeah, in a way, because NFTs are non-fungible, meaning they cannot be copied or faked. For this collection, there will be 10,000 tokens, same as for Bored Ape Yacht Club, or and maybe the producer can go to the website like homepage and show more stuff that might help understand. But congrats on 900, by the way. That's not bad for the first time, especially live under pressure. You don't want to know the high score, but most people get around 1,000, like 1,400 after a few tries.
For me, it's like it's all about being a part of a community that speaks to you and what like you have going on and what you want to create. So you have this NFT that there's only 10K of them. So if someone wants to be a part of your community, they have to buy into it.
From someone else. So someone has to sell the token. And yes, as we build the community, as we build this world, which will become metaverse on its own, the demand increases, right? Same with these other tokens you mentioned. And so the price goes up. NFTs, all of them could be, in a way, there are a lot of people who trade NFTs. I do also trade NFTs because I know that a lot of art that's being released today will be very thought after years down the road. Like if you think about Ready Player One, the movie, right, the book, they meet at an arcade, even though in that world they can literally create anything, right? And they have all this tech to create any VR situation they can, but there is nostalgia. And so everything from those 80s and those days has a lot more value than the most best created effects and cars and worlds and whatever you can think of, because they don't have the historical significance, the nostalgia that people look for. So so there's that. I definitely would say, like, with I would think more of NFTs as utility. If you want to trade them, great, but it's a utility that also, even it's like it acts a chicken and egg. The more utility NFT has, the more people want to use it, the more price it has, because there's more demand, and the supply is fixed. Supply will never go up.
Right, and the key is it's all about you and the community and what you can bring to the community, and if the community speaks to you. And I think having an NFT that it doesn't necessarily have to be about gaming, but if it focuses on the gaming side, or if it has a niche that's more focused on gaming, I don't see any other 10K that has that focus, let alone is creating an entire backstory that everyone can be a part of. So for me, that means a lot, and we'll have plenty of time. We'll have plenty of time to talk Telcoin and VeChain and all that stuff on another day. Um, for right now, it's all about these guys in Bizarro.
Well, that's very kind of you. I have to, like, to be, for integrity's sake, say that I have seen recently a few other projects pop up that are also, in the gaming space. I think one of the differentiations that Luke and I want to bring to the table is, most of them say they release the avatars and then they promise the games in the future, and it could be, they say, a couple months off or so. And I mean, that's great. I think this is not a very unique idea. In a sense, it's an obvious idea, and a lot of them will come up, and I love it. I want to be part of all of that. What Luke and I are trying to do is say, hey, on day one, well, September 17th, by the way, is the date the minting should kick off. With the moment you buy this, it's usable. It's usable in the metaverse that we create. It's usable in games. We'll have a sort of a set of a few mini games and the small metaverse at the beginning, but it's to expand from there. It isn't something you just buy and it's only an avatar and then you have to wait. Nothing wrong with that. It just, like, we thought, like, okay, let's just have start with something small, but something that actually is usable.
Sasha, that's an important point you make, and that's I was trying to get to that point a little bit. Like, I was surprised that you guys got this tapper and the runner game up so quickly. Because, like, you're right.
Yeah, he's good.
You're right. Like, all these NFTs, they've been promising stuff later to come, and that's totally okay and that's totally fine. But you guys have stuff that's playable day one right now. So that's awesome. That's awesome, and yeah, that's cool.
You'll notice that the both of the games too also have some crossovers with existing. So the first one, the runner, you can play as an alien boy. In Tapper, obviously you're serving sewer rats, and so I think part of that is we're engaging with some of the communities that we think are really cool in this space, but also kind of a testament to, like, we would love to do things with what we're doing, but, like, invite others in. Like, if we can get alien boy avatars in there, let's figure out how to make it work. I mean, I'm sure it's complicated, but who knows?
That sounds great, guys. And I think ultimately that's really the good point about crypto, is that things are being decentralized, so there's not this cloudy, like, cloak and dagger centralized company behind it that no one has any idea about, and we, like the layperson, can't make any of the rules. This is something that is decentralized. You're part of the community. You're making the rules. You're getting connected with people, sewer rats, alien boys, with communities that about what you read about. So I think that's the big thing, like, that we should all, like, take away from crypto in general, not only just with the NFTs.
I'll add to that. Really, like, this is so much bigger than most people still understand, because with this, for example, with our NFTs, as with most NFTs, you get full commercial rights to the character that you mint. So you'll get one of 1,000. It's going to be randomly generated with some traits, right? And some of them are going to be more rare than others. So you might get, like, a really good one on rarity scale. Hopefully all of them look good, but some of them just have more rare traits and will probably trade for more as people seek those. But regardless, it's yours. If you become a famous Bizarro, if you have, like, the highest score and you want to sell, like, t-shirts with your Bizarro printed on them, we have no rights to that revenue. If whatever you want to do, write a book about your Bizarro, invite other Bizarros together to write comic books or make an animated movie or series, or literally it's full commercial rights. So that's, if you can imagine playing, say, Fortnite, and you get a skin right in the game to your hero, you have zero rights. You can't make any money on that. And if you quit the game, it's lost. You can't trade it. If as your character advances in levels or whatever, we may have that too in some ways. Like, we may, as you continue staying with Bizarro, we'll release other objects, and, like, maybe baby dragons that you mentioned as a flying mount. Some of those will just drop for free to our users, and some maybe will charge a little bit, to, like, fund the development. But they're all yours, so you can actually trade them freely on OpenSea or other markets to anyone. The ownership model is completely flipped on its head, and I think once people try this, they'll ask, why did we ever have an age where I didn't own anything? I didn't own any of my data. I didn't own any of my skins. I didn't own my characters. I didn't own my progression. I didn't own my achievements. Here you own everything. So all we're doing is providing a platform on which you can upgrade and create these things. And we have zero rights to your characters. We can't pull them. We can't delete them. We can't undo it. I think, like, obviously, if you stop making the game, or we like completely pull out, so to speak, we disappear, the value will drop, because for that time there'll be no platform to use them on. But you can literally take those characters, they're Unity full 3D models, and somebody else can make a game, or you can, add support for them in a different metaverse, and suddenly they're usable again. And it's incredible. Like, this is something that has never been done, and I think this is the big revolution of NFTs. Is you actually have ownership, you actually have commercial rights, you have IP rights. We don't get to hold IP rights except for maybe to the metaverse itself, like to the environment.
And that's a point you mentioned there, Sasha. I really think many people miss that. And I went into the point where you got the Bored Ape Yacht Club, and you got, like, you can possibly rub shoulders with Snoop Dogg.
My ape.
Right. Oh yeah, you have one, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Just got
So, like, on the same token, you also, like, if I want to advertise Black Roo investing with my Bizarro, now the Black Roo's investing's face is that Bizarro, and I can put it wherever I want, and it's the greatest advertising opportunity, because now that face is now known by Alien Boy, it's now known by Sewer Rats, it's now known in all these different communities that Bizarro connects with. So
it's like your own, what is it, the Geico for the Geico company? What is
your own mascot.
Yeah, like, you can have your own mascot, and I'm sure we'll have some Bizarros with beards and probably bald. So I'm sure that if you don't mint it and somebody else mints it, I have a feeling that you might shoot them an offer on the open market to get it.
There we go. Arrange a little trade so I can get the actual me.
Yeah, people do that a lot because these avatars are also, like, meant to kind of represent either your fantasy identity, or kind of like how you identify, right? Or even, like, if you love how you are, it's like, hey, it's like my virtual self. And because you own it, it's a bit of a different feeling.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Then, like, in practice, you log in and you just play a character, right? Is one of the things. But the feeling of it, it's the same. Imagine, like, the car. Imagine it's a different feeling between driving a rented car and driving your car. And the fact that you can sell your car to anyone you want without permission is a very different feeling than leasing a car from dealership, even though you're doing the same thing in terms of driving. That's the difference between NFT gaming and regular gaming. And I think it's so addictive. It's not even addictive. It's just how it should have been always. I compare, like, GameStop, where we used to buy games and you could go back and trade it. And now it's digital. So you download and you have no rights to it. You can't sell it to anyone.
Okay, but GameStop games depreciate incredibly quickly. So
yeah, but
hopefully that doesn't happen.
At least, yeah. This is normally opposite, or often opposite, in NFT collections, as long as developers keep.
Okay, a couple questions. We got about 8 minutes left. I'm gonna talk to the guys with Bizarro, and then I'm gonna talk to you guys, crowd, everyone, after the show, because I want to make a request from you guys, or not a request, but an announcement. When are you guys going to be doing your minting? So anyone who watches the show, because we also get recorded and people can go on Benzinga and watch our recording. When do you guys plan on minting?
September 17th is the planned mint date.
Awesome. And then you'll let us know on Twitter the exact time and all the particular details about the website.
We're trying to find some unique and interesting ways to fight off the gas wars. There might be several times, or we're still kind of figuring out those details.
Cool.
Yeah. If nobody's interested in the project, we'll have no gas wars. So that's easy. If a lot of people like it, what I think is really unfair is that some of the projects just, like, let it out and just say, hey, you guys, it's like letting people go into a fight pit, right? And say, whoever survives, good for you. And we think that's a little harsh, especially to newer people to NFTs. We know a lot of stores, people lost their money, gas fees, they don't understand where it goes. And plus miners are really well off as they are. I mean, they're an important part of the environment, but they're doing pretty well. So let's keep that money in people's pockets, and maybe they'll use it to mint as an extra Bizarro. Maybe they'll just use it on something else. But so
yeah, when I saw you guys and you guys being affiliated with Alien Boy, I really like that community over there. Someone had like a carjacked, and Georgie,
shout
like
out
the
to Georgie.
CEO, yeah, he organized something to get some funds over to the guy who got carjacked. Like a portion of the funds went over to him. Like he didn't have to do that. And that's all about that's all what it's about, like the community. And even if only like, I know you guys are probably going to have more than that. Like more people, like whoever buys on day one, it's all about what you create in the community. If you come into the community and you create something great, that just ups your value. It's just like Sasha said, if you're renting a car, you're not going to take as much care about it as your own car that you're going to put work, money, and energy into, so that one day, hey, I'm going to resell this car, so I can't treat it like crap. You know what I mean? I got to bring up some value here. Same thing with any community that you go into. If you go into a job, you want to bring value, or otherwise, your job has the right to get rid of you. But not in this instance. In this instance, if you're buying something, you want to create a community that has value.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's I mean, if everybody always wants to, the developers to listen to feedback, right? And but it's hard to do that because they're constrained so much by mostly by like shareholders, their investors, etc. And a lot of games do obviously an amazing job. Like there's great, but then how cool would it be if you could have an area in like World of Warcraft or something that is just community designed, right? That you could actually point to and say, I did this. I either created this, or this is my idea. I wrote about this. If you had you could write a bit of the backstory and add to the lore, right? Maybe your illustrations are used either in the game or your textures. This is I hope people find this fun. I hope we'll find creatives and writers and storytellers and just people, even if it's tiny contribution, you don't have to be a creative. It might be you just want to experience it.
Yeah,
that's our hope.
Yeah, perfect. All right. Thanks, guys. Is there any questions from the chat that you guys wanted to ask Sasha and Luke?
I will say I saw some chatter, about this being gaming and not investing or stocks or those sorts of things. But it's really, I think it's important to know that this is, yes, it is gaming. Yes, it is something creative, but it is an investment in that you are investing into a world or into a product or whatever it is that, that value, as you invest in it, the value goes up. And generally, if you buy a Fortnite skin, the value of Fortnite goes up, but you don't retain any of that value. So it is investing in that way, if that's what you're interested in. Like if you come in and you put in a bunch of work, and maybe you don't, maybe just write it and other people put in a bunch of work, but that value goes up and you maintain a part of it. So I think that's a good way to think about how this is where gaming and investment can meet.
I minted 10 cool cats when they came out, and that cost me 0.02 ETH each, which was at the time like $40 or something.
Oh my god!
$50 with gas, and now they're worth 2 ETH each. Is the minimum price for one, and so there's 10,000 of them, and the smallest price anyone is willing to sell you for is 2 ETH, which is 6,500 right now. So that's a 100x. If that is an investment, I don't know what is. And I mean,
right,
frankly,
you're not getting that in the stock market.
Yeah,
more than in a month's time. You're not getting that.
I don't think people should look at NFTs as just speculation, but because it's such a new market and because it brings so much to the table and has incredible value, and there's still so few people who really know it and in it compared to the amount of people that are in DeFi in general and investment in general and just on the internet in general and gaming in general. There is a flood of people coming in, so there's a flood of new money, and the supply is increasing. But also, if you find the good projects, they only mint usually 10,000 max, 7 to 10,000. It's a very low supply for a very much increasing a number of wallets every day. And I mean, I've personally, I've done pretty well last month. I cannot possibly imagine a better investing opportunity in the last month than NFTs. I've recommended it to some friends. What I thought, again, not investment advice, and I wouldn't look at it per se, but like, you get to join a community, you get to meet incredible people. Like, I quadrupled my followers on Twitter. I've met dozens and dozens real world people that are NFTs that are now my new friends. We're building this game. Like, I see others build things. I met artists. I bought incredible art. It's been one of the most amazing months in my life, and on top of that, it made me money. It's an incredible time to be alive. It's an incredible place to be, and I just, from finding friends, from finding maybe purpose even for some people, incredible art, finding new things to do, communities, I so highly recommend to research more, dip your toes in, do your own research and things. But this is a fascinating space.
Awesome. All right, thanks guys so much for coming on. I'll make sure that I keep everybody updated on when you guys mint. Yeah, you're definitely welcome, Sasha, for sure.
Hi, brother. Cheers.
Have a good one, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, guys. That is our first interview ever on Blackroot Investing, and I know it wasn't talking about crypto coins, but I actually wanted to put out to you guys. I'm a growing channel, a growing YouTube channel, but I want to provide as much value to you guys as possible. So I was thinking about maybe having a day on Saturday or something where I went live on my channel, and I could possibly do questions about like Telcoin, and we could go over Telcoin or Vera price targets and stuff like that, because I'm up like Saturday or Sunday morning anyway, doing my videos for my show. Like, why not go live and stuff? See, really nice message there by Sasha. Thank you so much, for sure. So would there be a day that you guys would want me to go live on my channel so that we could do stuff like talk about coins, talk about NFTs and stuff like that? Personally, what I was thinking is either Saturday or Sunday morning. It could either be on my channel, because I do need the the hours or whatnot, the hours to grow my channel, or it could be on the Benzinga channel, whatever, it doesn't matter, if they have the time or whatever. So let me just put that out there. You guys can leave comments in the chat, or you can leave comments on the recording. I'll go check it out and take a look at that. But so let me know if there's some day that you guys would like to see, so that we can go over Telcoins and stuff like that, and just generally chat about crypto. Other than that, is there any other questions from the comments? Go Bizarros. All right. So thank you guys for coming out. See you guys next Monday. Have a good one. Peace.